Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Raw Talk with Tanta Katie. I'm so happy that you guys are here. I'm happy you came back to listen to another episode. And I'm also very excited to discuss the next topic. The next topic that I am going to be discussing with you guys on this podcast is fear. And I think when a lot of you guys hear that word, maybe you're going to think of all your fears, whether it's fear of heights, fear of losing somebody close to you, fear of trying something new, and that feeling of everything can go wrong. What could possibly go wrong? Everything. And I think fear is something we all definitely feel in one way or the other. Some show it a little bit more, some are better at hiding it. But I do think it's good that we talk about it because it is a feeling that's present in all of us. And it's also one of our instincts. It's there to sometimes maybe protect us so that something doesn't go wrong. And I know that for me, I'm also sitting here, I'm doing this podcast. This is also something that is very outside of my comfort zone. And as I'm doing it with you guys, of course, I have fear on my right shoulder. It's a present feeling here. It's something that I think when we all try something new, it's going to be there. And I think that the more that we do that thing, the less it's going to get. And we're going to really overcome. I mean, it sounds corny, but overcome the fear. But I think in order for that to happen, we first have to accept it. And I would like to share a couple stories with you guys just because I believe in the power of sharing my stories that maybe they can help you guys and also give you guys a couple tips about if you do go through fear in the future, some things that can help you, things that have also helped me. And I can tell you a story which is in 2012 I was working as a barista. I had managed to save up as much money as I possibly could. It was a very tough time for me. I was going through a lot. I had come back from Australia, and it was weird adjusting back to being in the US. I had been gone for a year in Australia, came back. I had found out some distressing information about some of my family members, and I wasn't really sure what to do at that time. Actually, it was either between joining the Navy or possibly being a barista where my sister was working at the time, and I was feeling very lost. So then I decided to be a barista for a little while, and that's when I decided, you know what, I'm going to save every cent that I make here as a barista. I'm going to save my paychecks, I'm going to save my tips. And you know what? I said I'm going to book a one-way ticket to Thailand. And back in 2012, uh this was not a popular thing. We're in 2024. Nowadays, it feels like everybody and their mother is going to Thailand. What I can tell you is in 2012, that was not the case. And the majority of the people there thought I was crazy. That was literally what they would say to me when I told them I'm going to book a one-way ticket to Thailand. They said, "Are you crazy?" So obviously, I knew that it wasn't a crazy thing to do because when I was in Australia during that year, I had spoken with many travelers who were going to Asia. So I knew it was a thing. Um, it was definitely outside of my comfort zone. It was I definitely had my fears. I had managed to book the ticket on Halloween. So, for those of you who don't know, I know that in the area that I come from in the US, a lot of the people there are a little bit superstitious. So actually, I got the cheapest flight on Halloween because nobody wanted to fly on Halloween. I think they thought something bad was going to happen, with our little superstitions. And I had sold everything that I had. I had had a little tiny red dump truck. I think it had sold for about 2000 to my friend's dad had bought it from me. And I think at the time I had managed to scrape up about $5,000, which definitely at the time was enough to travel in Asia. However, it that money, if you're not careful with it, can go a little bit quicker depending on what you're doing when you travel. Luckily, I'm a pretty smart about my money, so you know, it was okay. But so, yeah, going back to that moment was the flight that I had because it was so cheap. I think it was like a 30-hour with stopovers. I mean, we had stopped in Korea. I can't even remember how long I was there. I think 10 hours or something, and South Korea, obviously. And I remember before getting on the flight, my dad had taken me to the airport, and I told him, I said, I think I was 22 years old at that time. Yeah, I think I was 22. And I looked at him and I said, "Thank you for raising me." Because I thought that was, probably going to be the last moment I ever saw him. I didn't really know. And I remember he looked back and he goes, "Katie, I'm not done raising you yet." And I had to laugh at that. So I get on the plane and I remember being absolutely terrified. I was so scared. And I remember thinking, what are you doing? You're literally by yourself, 22 years old, on a one-way ticket to Thailand. You've got $5,000. You don't know the language there. You don't know a single person in that country. You don't even know that much about the country. You don't even know. I didn't even know where I was staying when I got there. Or maybe I did. I don't know. But I remember being terrified. And like I said, I had that fear. That fear was there. That fear was on my shoulder with me. It was there. It was present. But I did it anyway. I did it anyway. I took that chance. I did it anyway. And when I had arrived in Thailand, I managed to get to the place that I was staying at. And to be completely honest with you, everything went very well. I know that's not the case for everybody, but my experience was everything went very smoothly. I absolutely loved the food there. I enjoyed seeing the culture, seeing how the roads were built, the restaurants. I'm a huge foodie, so I was stopping at every food place there was. And I just felt so good. I felt so free. And that was a moment where I remember thinking, if I would have listened to that fear when I was on the plane telling me, you know, is this the right thing? Are you making a mistake? Is this the right choice? Maybe you are crazy. Should you really be doing this? If I were to listen to that fear that I had in that moment, I would have never made it to the place that I am today. Never. Okay, maybe a different path. We all know there's different paths, but I wouldn't be in this exact moment. I wouldn't. It's like the butterfly effect. So what I can say about that is the power of, and I wouldn't even call it facing your fears. I wouldn't call it facing your fears. I would call it more of living with your fear in that moment and accepting that it's there. It's kind of like when you go to a dinner party and you ask your friend, "Oh, who's all going to be there?" And then you're like, "Oh gosh, like, oh, Ronnie's going to be there. Oh gosh, like, what's he going to say? What bad joke is he going to make?" Or maybe Ronnie is a Debbie Downer. Like, "Oh gosh, Ronnie's there." Like, ah. By the way, Ronnie is just a random name. So I don't know any Ronnies, just that you know. So it's about living with that discomfort, but knowing it will get less. It will get less, and it will also lead to something beautiful. It'll lead to something beautiful, and sometimes you have to just really believe in that thing. And I remember I always believed and I had hope that there was something out there for me. And I had many moments. I've had many, many, many moments in my life, and I'm sure you all have as well, where that fear was so present. It was so present. But what I feel like is if you expose your fear to good things and expose it to the possibilities, that it will get less. And, it's really important to take that action, to take those actions to get it to be less. And it's really important to try and take that control back of your life, because I've had moments in my life where the fears that I've had were so dominant. They were almost paralyzing me to the point where I felt like I'm not even going to make it out of a bad situation. I'm just going to be stuck here. And the fear and the doubt, it was just so dominant. And I'm here to tell you guys, take accept that the fear is there. Hey, it's like Uncle Ronnie or whatever. Ronnie's there. But you know what? Go with it. Take that fear with you on a bike ride. Take that fear with you to the job interview. Take that fear with you to try something new. And I truly believe that if you do that, your life will really start on that other side of fear, because it will get less. It really will. And I have to wonder about certain people and certain celebrities and how much fear they've probably had in situations, whether they were making a business deal or filming a show. I mean, they must have been terrified. Like, is this the right choice? Am I doing this? Should I be doing this? But they did it anyways, guys. And that's such a beautiful thing. That's such a beautiful thing to know that you can do it. I mean, shoot, we just had the Olympics. And, I remember Simone Biles. I mean, wow, what an incredible athlete. What an incredible person. I've got a lot of respect for her. She's been through a lot in her life. And something that really shocked me, I saw her documentary on Netflix. And something that surprised me was she had said that right before every time she does one of her routines, that she's scared. That she's scared to do it, whether it's the flip or the cartwheel. I don't know all these terms, so just roll with me here. And I'm thinking, wow, this Olympic gold medalist, the best, I mean, they're saying she's the best that there's ever been. She's the GOAT. That she's scared before everything? I'm thinking, huh? But that's what it is. And look how much she's doing to inspire other people. Look at how incredible she is. For every flip that she's doing something so incredible even though she's living with that fear. Wow. And think about all the things that you can do in your life living with that fear. You can do so much. It's really about putting that one foot in front of the other. Nothing is in life is going to come by itself. There's no magic fairy mother that's going to come. But if you really take those steps, and if you take those steps even with when you have that fear, sky's the limit. Sky is the limit. Because at the end of the day, we like to put these walls around ourselves of what's possible and what's not. Everything's possible. I always say everything is possible. I used to babysit back in the day. And the kids would always say, "Oh, Katie, is everything possible?" And of course, I said, "Everything's possible except for trying to fly by yourself, because that's not possible, or being Spider Man and thinking that the web's going to come out of your hands." Because at the time, they wanted to be Spider Man. And I just thought, okay, there are some things that are not possible. Like, don't get it twisted. There's some things that are not possible. I can't just jump in the sky and expect to jump I don't know, to the moon or something. Okay, like, yeah, everything's possible. Yeah, okay, everything but not everything. Everything but not everything, if you know what I'm saying. So, but there are many things that are possible except for being Spider-Man. And I just think that's such a beautiful thing. And I remember I had heard that they had done this experiment where they had taken like a permanent marker, a Sharpie, and drawn a circle. And they had put ants in the middle of that circle. And the ants were staying inside the black lines of that circle because that's what they thought they were supposed to do. And then a spider had come along and had not jumped, but was walking on the black line. And then the ants thought, huh? And then finally the ants went outside the lines. And I feel like that's similar to how we are as humans. We don't know how much we're capable of, and we're all capable of a lot. And when I say we're all, I mean we're all, every single person. And there's something I want to tell you. Nobody is better than you, and nobody's worse than you. You are capable of everything. Every single thing you are capable of. And even if you think of celebrities or actresses and actors and you think, "Oh, they're so much better." No, they're not. They're not. They're really not. You're no different to them than anybody else. The difference is that they got to where they are either by rich parents, let's be real. Maybe they had some parents in the industry. We all know how it is. Or they were able to face their fears to work hard enough to get to that point. And guess what? You can do it too. And I can do it too. We all can. We all can do these things together. Um, so yeah, just think back, think back of moments that you've had in your life where you had faced a fear and you think, okay, you know what? I'm actually happy I had faced that fear. But then think of things in your life that you would like to accomplish. Even if it's something that's a little bit simple, maybe it's something like starting a blog, or the fear. I mean, shoot, I'll keep it real here. I'll keep it real, real. Me personally, here's an example for you guys. So I'm a little bit bigger. I'll be real. I'm a little bit bigger. Sometimes I have the fear of going to the gym, going to do any type of fitness, because I feel like the people at the gym probably think, oh goodness, this girl's a little bit overweight. What's she doing here? So I have that fear in my mind of, oh gosh. But you know what? First things first, who cares? Second things second. If I, even if I have that fear with me and I do it anyways, I'm going towards my goal of getting more in shape, doing something for my mental health, feeling better about myself. So that's for you guys too, no matter what the fear is, whether it's going to the gym or let's say there's a movie you really want to see and you don't have anybody to go with, that's okay. And you but you go alone and you're facing that fear of doing something by yourself. Try it. Try it. And you'll see that you know what? You might even have a really good time. Or going to a coffee shop, you might even meet somebody. Maybe there's somebody you work with that you think is a cool person and you'd like to be friends with them. Well, ask them if they want to hang out. Yes, in your brain, you're probably thinking, oh, maybe they, don't want to hang out with me. Oh, they probably have other plans. No, stop. Stop making these scenarios up in your head of what you think the other person thinks. This is something I see very often. You have no idea what the other person is thinking. Absolutely zero. You can guess, sure. Anybody can guess. I can guess. But you don't know. That's why it's better to take these chances. If you get turned down, you get turned down. But you know what? At the end of the day, you tried. And I feel the more you do it, the easier it gets. I'm definitely a firm believer in that. And the thing is, there are some fears where I would say, okay, maybe, let's say you want to, do motocross, maybe wait a little bit, maybe get some, you know, uh, a professional to help you. When I talk about facing your fears, I'm not talking about, what I mean, motocross or anything like that. I'm talking about really, But then again, hey, if you're gonna put in the work to be in Supercross or whatever it's called, I don't know the terms, then do it. Then do it if it makes you happy. And like I said, I'm trying to share this with everybody because I do want to spread some hope. I do want to spread some love. I want everybody out there to feel good. I want everybody out there to feel some love, to know that you're not alone. And I'm just trying to share a lot of my wisdom with you guys, things that I've learned, things that I think we all kind of suffer from. But I don't know about you guys, but I don't really hear anybody else talking about this. That's why I feel like I want to talk about it because I wish I had this person. I wish I had somebody to talk about these things with me personally. And yeah, do something, even if you have a calendar. Let's say you have a calendar for whatever month, and even if you put for one day of each week something in the calendar that you want to do that is outside of your comfort zone, where you know that you're going to have fear on your shoulder with you, but you feel genuinely in your heart like you want to do it, and that if you do it, then that fear will get less, then do that one thing every day for a week. Just one day a week. Do that new thing. And I bet you're going to grow as a person. You're going to feel more confident. And I bet you're even going to have fun. So that's what I challenge you to do. Do one thing this week that scares you. One thing. Within reason. Obviously, within reason. Safety first, people. Safety first. And do that and let me know. Make a comment. Let me know if you did something. Let me know what it was. And let me know if you feel like it helped. and please share it with me. I would love to wish each and every single one of you a nice day. I I hope that everything in your life is going well, and even if it's not, that you know there's always hope, that it's good to face your fears. And like I said, that fear is going to be there. Don't let it scare you. Do not let the fear scare you from the things that you want in life. Don't let it intimidate you. You're stronger than the fear. Okay? And wish you all the best. I would love it if you could go ahead and follow my podcast, Raw Talk with Tanta Katie. Leave a comment. And if you know somebody that would like to hear this, then please share it with them. Um, and I wish all of you a lovely day. And until next time, bye. Ciao.